I get 10 voicemails a day.
Oh, yeah. And you can't get off.
You can't. Even when you block them, they got a new number.
It doesn't. No, they call from a different number.
Yeah. Because you could buy a number for what? Like super cheap.
Yeah. They banned AI because a lot of people, like a common misconception is that people think like, it's cold calling dead, And that's a huge misconception because it's actually stronger than ever now.
Wow.
Because of AI. AI actually kind of like solidified a place in the world for cold calling because they banned AI. It means now they're reducing the amount of junk and noise that's coming through to your phone. Because if they were to open it up, well, then could you imagine the amount of garbage?
Oh my God.
Just enough garbage you get now, right? Could you imagine the sheer amount of garbage you get then?
Yeah.
Right. So, like, because they took those measures and have blocked that garbage and that noise from coming through, now it leaves room for like legitimate companies to actually still cold call homeowners and businesses or whatever, and actually present them with legitimate offers. So if you're in that type of business, good for you. You can actually still operate because there is still room in the world for legitimate, honest cold calling.
Have you been in the call center industry for a while?
Not selling them the way that I do now. So I got into the call center space kind of by accident. I sort of fell into it because I was running a large sales organization in the world of solar. RIP solar.
Yeah, that was a bubble, huh?
So if I said the word solar, there's a really strong chance about a third of you people in this audience right now would be like, solar's a scam, right? It's like a third of the audience would yell back. Now, if I did the same thing and I just said air conditioning, ain't no one going to be like, air conditioning's a scam.
No one, yeah.
No one, not a single person, right? There's your problem. Right, there's your problem with your industry right there. Like
the bias.
You guys screwed it for yourselves. Now you get to lay in it,
Because they overpromised, like.
Oh, they did all kinds of. There was all kinds of scammy shit going on.
Yeah.
So I could talk about it for all day, but there was all kinds of scammy shit going on. So, I still do work with a lot of solar companies, just not as many anymore. So now I work. I love home services. That's just kind of an industry that I sort of fell into by.
Roofing's a good one.
Roofing is great. I like HVAC. HVAC is my favorite. Maybe because I'm partial to it because I used to own an HVAC company for a long time. Also a crazy story. But so, now these companies just kind of find me, because I talk to a lot of them on a daily basis. And they all want to be in more homes and they all want to talk to more homeowners and they all want more business. And they all don't think about call centers.
Yeah.
So this is kind of a new thing for them.
Yeah, it's not like the sexy lead gen method, right? They want to be running ads and doing like videos.
Yeah, everyone still thinks about digital media, as their primary source of marketing, which is great. I'm not anti-digital marketing. I'm all for it too. But like, I think that's, like now we're seeing a big resurgence in traditional media coming back, TV, radio, mailers, all that kind of stuff, because that's what happens when you ignore something for a long time. Yeah. It starts working again because it's no longer saturated with a bunch of scammy offers. So now it becomes once again revived with energy and is now a viable resource.
Yeah.
So that's why mailers are now working again, because people are like actually opening like, oh, I haven't received a mailer in a long time. Let me actually open this one.
I do open a lot of mailers actually.
Isn't that interesting? But like 20 years ago, you probably didn't.
No.
20 years ago, you would, it was piled up because that's what everyone did.
Yeah. Yeah. They're getting good at making them appealing too.
Yeah. But now the equivalent is Facebook ads.
Yeah.
Right now, that's the equivalent of a mailer. So it's like, isn't that interesting how the tables have turned?
Yeah.
Right. Like now it's Facebook ads because those are super saturated and with a shit ton of scammy offers. So now people aren't paying attention to that. So now they're back to the old school stuff.
Call centers have been true and tested, I feel like.
For sure.
For a long time, right?
For sure. Yeah, they'll never even, like Ryan Panetta, love you by the way. Even like Ryan Panetta is like anti-call centers, and I'll chat with you one day. But he's, he thinks it's a dying art, he thinks it's a dying channel, and I, totally disagree. But there's a huge opportunity, I think, for companies, or it's actually, we work with like like a lot of fundraisers and charities and stuff like that. And that's a huge new area that we're about to crack into is kind of the whole charity side of thing and fundraising side of thing. Because it's the same thing, right? It's just
they need more donors, right?
Just cold outreach.
Yeah.
And again, they're not used to it. So what's old is now new again. So now there's a huge opportunity in that space.
That's smart. So, and they got massive lead lists too, I bet.
Yeah, and they're really good at that kind of stuff too.
Yeah.
They already have.
Oh, yeah.
They already have that stuff.
Dude, I donated once to like Save the Children, not to put them on blast, but I get a mailer, I get texts, I get emails.
Once business owners reach a certain level of wealth, they stop caring about producing more wealth because you reach a point where it's like, well, I have enough money now. I don't need to keep accruing more.
Right.
Now you get to the point where it's like, well, how do I just keep it? How do I just not put it at risk? Right. And I think that's where they also kind of realized, like, the best return on investment I ever got was myself. Now, if I'm going to try to, and this is where my comment on Hormozi comes in, because he also kind of parrots that same model where he's like, stop trying to look at other avenues to be your primary source of income, because your primary source of income nothing will ever outproduce yourself. Instead, just keep your money safe.